Alright, hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. It's that time of the week again where the paid mods are out. So today we're checking out a paid mod called Special Attribute Points by Gothos25. Now, for anyone wondering, Gothos has done some other mods. The Apex Terramorph Overhaul, which is a cool mod, overpriced and crashed my Xbox, and then Cosmic Rescaler, which again was just kind of very half-arsed. So the special points, basically what it says it does is it adds the special system from Fallout into into Starfield. 500 credits around €5. Again, just straight off the bat, I will say this seems a bit, I don't know, it seems a bit questionable, to be completely honest with you. We'll obviously check it out and stuff, but from what I gather, just looking at it, is it adds the special system into the game, and they all do various different things, and you can kind of tweak them to do various different things. But unlike in let's say in Fallout, where you could like level your special by various things, in this you can only level your special by going through the Unity. And if you go through the Unity, I believe, does it say 10 times? Yeah, you basically have maxed out special. To be honest with you, just straight off the bat, the idea of somebody implementing a system from another game, from Bethesda into this, and charging €5 for it is a little bit... to be honest, it's a little bit... what would you say? Rich? Like, again, we're going to go test it out. I'm assuming, just looking at it, I'm assuming there's going to be very little issue with it. I don't think it'll be running scripts. But it's just, yeah. And I know, look, we've seen Fallout stuff in the past. Like, an example is, for example, Hara has remade the some of the Fallout weapons. And they've been paid mods. And, like, in regards to the weapons, I would say that the weapons take a lot more time to make. I don't know how long this takes, but for anyone who doesn't know, Gothos makes the Bedlam mod, which is a phenomenal mod, and now they've so they're on a different account, and the last probably couple of weeks, they've just been putting out paid mod after paid mod at absurd prices. So we're gonna go check it out anyway, see how it kind of plays out, and yeah. So let's go jump into it. I will say, I currently don't have any internet because the guys were like, oh, we're going to fix your fiber line today. Like, thanks. That's the day I record. So hopefully there should be no issue. There might be a bit of lag because I'm using my phone. We'll be back. All right, so I'm at the starting game. And, oh, is that going to go away? All right. So after walking around, it says, choose your special points remaining. So we can increase or decrease all of our special points. Right, let's, just for the premise of testing, what do I usually do with, right, what I usually do when I play Fallout is I do Charisma N. I lower my endurance a little bit. I will increase the intelligence to 8. And then I pull from agility to increase luck to 6. Alright, so that's my stats. Alright, so I'm going to just really quick, we're going to check what they do. Obviously we have gameplay options, we'll check them in a minute. Alright, so... Strength boosts your carry weight. Melee unarmed determines the weight of weapons you can wield effectively. Perception sharpens your awareness, improves range damage. Endurance enhances resistance, boosts health, oxygen, and the ability to wear heavy armor without penalties. What's heavy armor? What do they mean by heavy armor? Do they mean spacesuits? Charisma governs social skills, reducing prices, improving social success, and extending duration of scanner-based social abilities. Intelligence fuels academic prowess, increases XP, reduces crafting, and speeds up ship weapon recharge time. Agility improves dexterity, enhances movement speed, stealth, effectiveness, and partial dodge capabilities against enemy attacks. Luck amplifies all attributes by adding a percentage of your luck to each score, making Fortune a game changer, right? So you can tweak them. Let's look at the settings. All right, so we can turn it on to respec. Toggle this setting to bring up a respec menu. Cool. So special, the total attributes, by default, we can set it to 40. We can go up to 70. Or we can go 10. So special points on a new game plus. So this is, to be honest with you, this is where like it kind of starts to seem a little bit half-baked, in my opinion. Again. So you gain points on new game plus, which is kind of cool, but I do think that there should have been like magazines. If we're gonna fully commit to the kind of the thing, there should have been ways to increase your specials by like one. Like in Fallout, there should have been like bobbleheads placed around, and then the book I am special. So difficulty, your attributes need to be this number above 5 to be considered proficient and start producing positive bonuses. By default, 7 or above is considered proficient. Okay. Wait, what? Your attributes need to be this number above 5. Okay. So that would be 2 and 5. So 7. So we do 6. Okay. Or 8. Okay, interesting. Strength, weapon weight. If your strength times this multiplier is lower than your weapon weight, you move slowly. If your strength times this multiplier is lower than the weight of your weapon. Okay. This is your carry weight up to the value of your max strength. Your strength affected by carry weight. So, okay. Melee unarmed, your strength affects the amount of melee unarmed damage you do. Perception, range damage, or perception increase your accuracy with guns, meaning you do more damage. Well, that's not really what accuracy means, I suppose, but okay. Up to the value of max perception. If your endurance times this multiplier is lower than your armor's weight. My guy, Starfield has spacesuits, not armor. It does have armor, but spacesuits. To be honest, armor in this game is kind of redundant because spacesuits. So if it's 3 times lower, okay. Health and oxygen, your endurance affects how much health and oxygen you have up to this value. Charisma, prices. Your charisma affects the prices up to this value at max charisma. Your charisma affects what price you can get up to this value. So at max charisma, I get 20%. Okay, you could buff that up. Go 50. You want to. Charisma persuasion, the charisma affects your ability to persuade people. Okay, so with it at max, you get 30%. Okay, social powers, again, 30%. Intelligence, experience. Your intelligence affects how much experience points you gain, up to the value of max intelligence. So you need max it. So how? See, I don't. So if again, this is one of the things, Crimson. I'm not. I don't have a PhD in linguistical analysis. Wish I did. So your intelligence affects how much. So these seem to be what the gist of this is. At the max level of the specific stat, this is what will happen. So at max level of charisma, you have a 30% increase to social powers, a 30% increase to persuasion at max at 10. So at intelligence 10, you get 15% more XP. So here's the problem. What is the bonus if you don't have it at max? Like, is it 15% at 10, 10% at 9, 5% at 8? We're gonna have to do some testing. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some testing. And then this one is your crafting. Cost of crafting and research is 40% at the max. Okay. Ship weapons recharge 25% faster. Agility. This affects your speed. So you move faster with agility. This affects your stealth. Enemy accuracy. This is the dodge chance. Okay, so So your agility affects your chance to partially dodge incoming attacks up to this value, or to be hit for extra damage. Oh god. Okay. So that means that when we take, so again, see, I like look, I like the fact that we have all of these options, but I feel like the wording needs to be a little bit better. So partially dodge incoming attacks. So does that mean that if at max agility, so like if we had 10 agility and we get shot with 10 damage, we're only going to take 9 damage every time? Is that a guarantee? Look, your look provides selected bonuses to all attributes for each point you invest. Your look provides the selected bonus. By default, it's 0.2. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to load a different save, and we're going to test some things real quick. See, I think straight off the bat, and you're probably going to understand, or you're probably going to hear this. I think coming in here, I'm initially a bit. I'm not a huge fan of this mod, to be completely honest with you, because one, I'm not against the idea of adding elements from other games into it, like, to be honest with you. But first of all, you're making it a paid mod, right? And it's like, look, if you wanted to do achievement friendly and make it like, you know, if this was 100 credits, fine, right? Like, I'm going to be honest with you again. I'm not a modder. You know, I don't claim I know some things. I don't know everything. But again, this just kind of seems like this is supposed to open the special thing. What the hell? Toggle this setting to bring up a respec menu. Where is the menu? All right, I'm gonna load to save. I'm gonna save and reload real quick. We'll be back. All right, we reloaded the save. Let's try that again. Creations. Nope, wrong button. Settings, gameplay. So we'll turn it off. And we'll turn it back on. Right, so toggle this setting to bring up the respec menu. Okay. Am I blind? Where would this menu be? You can fine tune it. Adjust the number of starting points. See, the thing is, right? Is I have no way of knowing whether it's, so this is obviously the whole point of it. Let me actually we'll reload the save. Where is it? Show all saves. We're gonna go back to that one save I had real quick. Where is it? The one where it's like 7 minutes. This one. So we'll test it again. Okay, so let me convey my opinion. So first of all, I'm not against the idea of adding stuff from other previous games, like for instance, you know, adding Fallout stuff, adding Elder Scrolls stuff. Not against that. What I am against of is, first of all, the price of it. Like, realistically, I think if you're adding something into the game that is based on another game, like, so if you're like, okay, take it easy. If you're taking a concept from a game and improve, like, kind of adding it in. Yep. All right, hold on now. Yeah, no, I've no idea, boss. I woke up. Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar? Is this Earth? All right, cool. We'll do Bounty Hunter, and our name's gonna be Johnny. All right, cool. Huh. All right, thanks. Well, yeah, cool. Do you remember any? Yeah, there was incredible lights. Either way, all this trouble. Never mind what. All right, so eventually it will pop up. Give it a second. Ooh. It will pop up. Cool. Give it a minute. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So, first of all, or like I was saying, I'm not opposed to the idea of adding it into the game, but the thing is, I feel like if you're going to, like, and here's the thing. In an instance like someone like Kara, who has added in a weapons from the game from Fallout, they actually spent the time to recreate the weapons to fit into the game. Like, they didn't just, like, I could understand, like, to be honest, if they were to just take the weapons straight from, like, say, Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 and just ported them, which I don't think Bethesda would allow. But the mod author, again, is trying to, they're implementing a system which exists in Fallout games, which is, I'm not against that, but first of all, they're charging 500 credits for it, and honestly, just looking at, like, the different stats, what we're gonna do is we're gonna, just for the memes, we're gonna decrease our stealth to, like, our strength to 1 and our endurance to 1. I don't think this took a lot of time, to be completely honest with you. Like, looking at Gothos other mods, an example of the, like, the scaler, which we know how that works. Don't worry, I'm not going to insult him personally, but I've spoken to Ghost, who is make Xenomaster, phenomenal mod, and Ghost explained to me how you're supposed to do scaling. You're supposed to, like, spawn in the entities and kind of keep them always spawned in. So like yeah, again, I'm butchering the explanation, but the moral of the story is Gothos did none of that for the scaler, and you could see that when the creatures, I would recommend watching the video if you haven't, the creatures will shrink down to their size. Characters that are larger will have, their weapons are extremely large, and it's like, that doesn't make sense, right? So, excuse me, sorry. I drank a Coca-Cola early morning to take some stuff. I took my hay fever medicine before anyone thinks I'm doing something dodgy. Yeah, so from that point, they were clearly, like, they were in the realm of half-assery, right? Now, the Terramorph one was kind of cool, not gonna lie. Price, again, was very expensive, but again, the issue with it was that they were writing scripts, and the scripts were causing issues with the game. So again, I think they were kind of had an idea of what could be done and then half-arsed it. And I think we're in a similar situation again, where I think they're taking an idea and they're kind of half-arsing it a little bit, to be completely honest with you. So I'm gonna increase look real quick. I'm just trying to basically test to see increase perception, increase intelligence. All right, so done. All right, so now if I go into the settings, will it actually pull up the menu? Respec. Click it. Oh, there we go. So it works for this playthrough. Doesn't work for a playthrough in progress, which is kind of interesting. Oh shit. So I mean that's kind of fine, right? So we've got 1 strength.
Whoa. The Explorers Group don't look good.
Why do I not look good? Right, so I think the whole premise is, what is it? It takes your strength settings. What was it? Multiplies your strength by, if your strength times this multiplier is lower than your weight, you move slowly.
They were kind of a joke.
Not a joke.
He ain't moving slowly.
Too young to know better.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half.
Alright, so first and foremost, it's very clear that this, we're gonna reload that save. It's very clear this mod does not function in like a game in progress. Which is, like, fair enough, but it should mention that. Second of all, when you have your special, there's no way to see it, you know? You ultimately have no idea what your special stats are. I don't even know if the special stats are on this playthrough specifically, but, like, if we actually, let me reload that. Where is it? Vector. Sorry, we go back here. I know I'm jumping between. Like, in Fallout, you can pull up your stats and you can see your special. Now, I'm assuming that's not going to be the case here.
Speak of the...
Oh, yeah, they're gonna have to pop up again real quick. I just think, yeah, like...
You don't look good.
Like, if the Bedlam guy, like, if my guy wants to make some money, why didn't he just, like, make Bedlam or Bedlam style? Because clearly the mod author, and again, I'm saying Bedlam because I'm 90% sure that the creator of this mod is also the creator of Bedlam, which is Bedlam is a really cool mod. It just seems like they're like trying, because the first issue with it that I have with this mod author personally is that they've swapped names. They've got a different name, which kind of seems very shady. You know, like I personally don't think that mod authors who pay like sell creation shouldn't be allowed to, you know, hide their name or have a different account. All right, so is there a way to see my special skill? I don't believe so. So yeah, so straight off the bat, not being able to see your special skill, a bit, you know, a bit questionable. The stats, again, I'm trying to see. I'm on Xbox here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go out.
Joke. You're just too young to...
I'm gonna. I don't see some of these gameplay settings, like they don't really make sense to me. The multiplier is lower than your weapon weight. You move slowly, right? All right, so let me bring up my respec. We're gonna decrease strength. We're gonna bring our strength and endurance down to 1 once again because I want to test what they mean specifically. Decrease endurance, increase endurance, decrease endurance, increase endurance, and then we'll just increase our charisma. See, I can't even like test. Like I can't even test like the XP gain on like a different save because agility. There we go. Cool. So we're just gonna go through here as we're right. So my stats are very low. What's my spacesuit? 7. See, again, like if we go to the gameplay settings, it says so for if we go to endurance, if your endurance time this is lower than your armor's weight, you move slower, right? So this is by 3, so that means my endurance should be 3. So my spacesuit is heavier than 3, but nothing's happening. I don't understand. Like, unless... Oh god, now it's...
Half the crew doesn't believe...
Oh, it popped up now. Okay.
Same with Constellation.
Yeah, but come on. Exploring space? Who does that anymore?
So, my spacesuit 7 and 6 is 13? Yeah, 13, 14, right? So that would mean that realistically it would have to be multiplied by... Let me do settings. Let me unequip my weapon real quick just to make sure that it's not the cutter slowing me down.
Ain't the space we've already got
Okay, so this is without the cutter. This is the speed I'm moving at. Now, if I equip the cutter, I move significantly slower, like significantly slower. Now, look, realistically, no one is going to be at 1 health or 1 strength. But I do want to kind of test because... So let's say, for instance, if we go settings and we go to gameplay options again. So the endurance, if we were to have our endurance by default of 5, right? Which we're going to go do that. We're going to set our endurance to 5. We're going to set our endurance to 5, game. There we go. We're going to so we're going to decrease our intelligence. Right, so we're going to set endurance to 5, which is the default. Endurance is now 5, okay. So now that means that if my armor weighs more than 15, now does that take into account everything or just one piece? So currently we've got 14. Currently it is 15. I don't know, is that me walking slower? Yeah, no, that's me walking slower. Okay, so default endurance you, well, yeah, default endurance, you move quite slow. Now I'm kind of tempted to double check, like, what is the... what is this, the mining gear? Again, it's just like... it's like, it even highlights the fact that, like, that the mod author, like so the whole premise behind it is the mod author was like, okay, you know, we're going to implement that. Like, endurance doesn't even work like that in Fallout. So why you made it that way in this game, and then you mention armor... there's no armor in this game by normal, like, definition of armor. There's spacesuits that, yes, spacesuits provide you with stuff. But it's like... yeah, it's just... again, some people might like this, and I think realistically, if the mod author was charging like 100 to 200 credits for it, and they, you know, they fix some of the issues, like for instance, the specs not popping up all the time, not working mid playthroughs, and maybe added some special skill books or like bobbleheads, I think maybe. But again, it's just like, why is it like worth 500 credits? Like, what about this screams like €5? Also, this gun isn't here. Yeah, look, again, bit ranty, I know. I just, to be honest with you, I've lost a lot of respect for Gothos and like the Bedlam mod, to the point of like, I am I've been tempted to kind of use the Bedlam mod because the Bedlam mod is amazing. But like, this just kind of on principle makes me not want to ever touch the Bedlam mod, because going from making something like Bedlam to like doing like these egregious fucking cash grabs, it's like, come up with better features. Like, your first attempt at a fucking like paid mod was like a mod that other modders have done better for free, you know? And then your second mod, modifying Terramorphs, is cool, but your scripting skills are fucking clearly questionable because you crashed me fucking Xbox. And now we have this, which for 200 credits with some improvements could be cool, but for 500 credits in its current state, half the stats don't make any sense. Again, like, we go back here. There's no way to tell what your special skill is without clicking on the respec attribute. Like, at the very least, like, you could put like some sort of like, you know, like in the character, you know, like a little status effect showing like your special. I don't think that'd be too hard to do, a status effect. You know, my gun has a status effect on my main playthrough the whole time. It wouldn't be that hard. You could like assign it to, I don't know, like maybe assign it like as an equipable like a clothing item, you know? Like, I don't know why I'm telling you these things, because like clearly you should know how to do this shit yourself. Not to mention, yeah, like the stats themselves, some of them don't really make a lot of sense. Like the carry weight with weapons, I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, weapons aren't exceedingly heavy in game, like, to begin with. This strength stat is taken straight from Fallout New Vegas. To my knowledge, Fallout New Vegas is the only one that actually did this sort of system where your weapon strength. The carry weight, fair enough. Melee unarmed, fair enough. Ultimately, though, like, a 30%, like again, the mod author would need to explain, what do they mean? Like, the strength affects your carry weight up to this value at max strength. Again, so at max strength, you have a 30% increase in your carry weight. What if your status at, you know, 6? The difficulty, your attributes need to be this number to be considered proficient and start producing positive results. 7? I mean, anything above 5 is positive, is it not? What does disabled move? Like, 5 is the minimum. Why would you put it to 7? Why not just above 5? Can we even do above 5? I don't know if we can. So by default, it would be 6, which, I mean, makes sense because, yeah, 6, fair. But, like, why is that even an option? Like, the range damage increase with perception, fair enough. To be honest, perception, the stat should be more to do with like how far away you detect enemies. Don't know why that's, because that is one of the settings, I believe. Let me see. I think that's one of the sharpens your awareness, improving. Oh yeah, no, it just improves range. It doesn't have anything to do with seeing stuff. All right, what about, let's keep going. Endurance, oxygen, health. Yeah, fair. That works. Armor weight? No, no. Endurance wouldn't be about armor. Like, if anything, it would be strength. Because, you know, but again, like, this means like that, again, I'm not, let me double check. I'm just gonna really quickly check the weight of let me check the weight. What are they? So like, right, so we're just looking at spacesuits in Starfield just to see how much they weigh. Will it tell me how much they weigh? Probably not. Ba-da-da. All right. Okay. So just looking at the suits. Like Bounty Hunter weighs 20. Which means if you wanted to wear Bounty Hunter, the endurance are 7 above, you know? Deep Space Recon is 6. Ecliptic is like is the Ecliptic just 13 for one piece? So yeah, it seems like, well, first of all, the fact that they called it armor and not spacesuit makes me think that the mod author probably didn't actually look to see if like what the weight of spacesuits are. Because I'm like pretty sure that most spacesuits weigh the same, aside from a couple of outliers. The prices with charisma, again, I mean, that's fair, you know? Persuasion, social power, again, fair. Although you have this issue with like the percentage. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean if my charisma is 6, am I getting nothing? Intelligence, again, the experience one, it just, yeah. Speed of agility, fair, you know? I mean, agility in Fallout 4 was your AP regen. Yeah, your AP regen. It wasn't movement speed. I can't remember if Fallout 3 New Vegas was movement speed. Right, let me actually see if we, right, so what I'm going to do is real quick, just to check, we're going to respec. Oh, if the game had fucking let me respec. There we go. I don't know why I've turned it off first. All right, so we've got our endurance at 5. We're going to decrease our intelligence. We're going to put our agility at 10. And then just to be safe, I'm going to decrease my charisma. And I'm going to put my endurance. Oh, what happened? No. Decrease my charisma. I decrease my charisma. We're going to put our endurance at like 7. Yeah, so that should be decrease charisma. All right, so now let's see how fast I move. Okay, so that sprint speed is faster than normal. Base walking speed, yeah. Yeah, look. Some people might enjoy this. I think on principle, if you're going to take a system from another Bethesda game and implement it into the game, first of all, you shouldn't be charging like a $5, like, because clearly you didn't put a lot of work into it, just going off of the fact that some of the stats don't make sense. And I feel like you need to do a little bit more, which I've probably said that. I apologize if this comes across as ranty, but like, Gothos is kind of becoming my new punching bag because like, they are the definition of like why paid mods can be very problematic with Bethesda not kind of reining them in, you know? Alright, so just a little side note here. So after mod is still installed. I've had this. So it seems like it does. You can change your special on like other playthroughs. Yeah, so it does. You can actually. So I take it back. Now, one thing is, I'm assuming there's a script working or something, maybe, because you notice in the video I did kind of try and spam it, but I came out here and I was trying to take a picture, and for whatever reason, the special skill came up, and then I, like, moved it away, and then it popped up again. So I don't know if it's just, like, there's a bit of a delay, obviously, or if I somehow managed to bring it up by pressing a various combination of buttons. So that is one thing I will say. It does seem to work with you know, new playthroughs. You might have to wait a little bit, but yeah, that's just why a little interlude, I want to say that. But yeah, bye guys.